it to the stage. All right. So check it out now. See if that works.
What about? Can I hear it through my phone?
Yeah, try hearing yourself through your phone.
Hold on. Test. This is the old.
Yeah, that's the old one. Most I can do now is. Yeah, his mic is on.
Let's see. I was talking.
Almost. We're doing the best we can. Yeah. No, fair enough. All right. Most we can do is switch the chord. So let's try that.
I love skateboarding.
Here. Take that one. Okay. Clarity. Okay. So, looks like we're back. Say something, bro.
Test.
How does that sound, y'all? June, you can put it on us. Okay. All right. So,
Sound? Got it?
sounds like we're back.
Okay.
Okay. All right. That worked out. So, I guess I had to just restart the whole thing. For some reason, sound was off. Yeah, Roy, it is a behind the scenes episode. This is what happens when things go wrong on set, and you got to hurry up and fix it right away.
This is it. Now, everybody in the comment, go ahead and type in the numbers. 14 minutes, because that's the timestamp for when you got sound. We want people that started early to see the comments say 14 minutes. Go to this point.
I'll put that in there right now. Okay. Sound at 14 min. Okay. Oh yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
you can pull it. You can pull it through. Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's do this thing. Okay.
All right, here we go. So yeah, right, T-Bone. He said sometimes you got to reboot that thing.
That's right.
We got Mac in the head house. What's going on,
sir.
bro?
Melly Mac in the biz. What's up?
So we didn't even really get to start anything.
Oh, okay.
I just basically said Mike Edwards ain't playing because he's not that good. That's pretty much as far as we got.
Yes, that's it. That's as far as we got.
He's hurt, man. Stop playing with him.
No, he's hurt? Okay, never mind. We got, you know what? I'm not indulging in this BS.
I ain't being funny. He on the injury report.
I know.
Is he really? What he hurt? Is
Him-
it the same as before? Or?
I don't know.
No, I know you want to be. That's why I said, okay, enough. How you get hurt?
I wasn't being
Did
funny.
you do the crate challenge when I came down?
Honestly, I'm shocked because it's him and Ray Davis.
That are hurt?
Yeah, so they might not play.
What did Ray Davis hurt?
Calf.
The same way we didn't see James Cook get hurt in the game, but he
have
got
jumped
hurt.
up to catch that ball. That's exactly how that happened.
No, you know what?
Just keep your feet on the ground.
Remember that? Remember what you said? Yo, he was going for the logo. He was like, yo, he said, Keon can do it. Watch this. Like, do I stay on the ground? You did good. That ball touched every part of his body before he caught it.
Hey, he caught the ball, man.
He did catch the ball.
Right. That's all that matters because he almost didn't, boy.
Right.
It looked like that thing was fumbling around in that groin
At first,
area.
I'm like, yo, that's a great catch. And I was like, wait, what didn't it? Just like a pinball. When he was like trapping it, letting it do what it does.
200 points. Yeah. All right. So, how do you want to start today's episode, fellas? Because we have much to cover in so little time.
I wanted to like do a real quick overview of stuff. I didn't have much stuff at all. Quick overview of the last game because I don't have much from that. And we just go right into this. Give me like.
So brief overview of the last game.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Amari Cooper trade.
Well, we're gonna talk about that. Obviously, your thumbnail told me I had to talk about that.
Well,
I say we do the recap for the Bills and Jets game.
Okay.
Amari Cooper trade, and then Bills versus Tennessee.
Okay.
What y'all think?
Have you heard enough about Bills Jets? Are you ready to hear about Bills Titans? Because that game is gonna be trash. Absolute trash.
I really don't want to talk about it, but I'm going to because we have to. We're obligated by the sponsors, I think. I don't know.
I don't know. Dude, let us know if you guys want to hear Bills Titans, because I'm telling you right now, that's a dub. That's a dub in the bag.
Matter of fact, you want to do that first?
Talk about Bills Titans?
Yeah.
The Bills are going to win. All right, so Bills Jets.
That's pretty much what I had. I had some bullet point. I had like 8 bullet points. Let's do that first.
All right, go ahead. Knock it out.
All right. Matt, you got any thoughts on it first, or you want me to just go with it?
What we doing first? Bills Titans?
Yeah, unless you have more profound thoughts on that game than me. Because I really literally have 10 quick bullets with no conversation needed.
So I'll just put this. Don't. This is Amari Cooper's first game against the Titans. He's probably playing. So what I want people to know is don't overreact. Like, good or bad. If he out there and he get 10 catches for 100 yards, don't react too soon. Or if he get 4 catches for don't react too soon. He just came to the squad. Let him get adjusted to the playbook and get reps with Josh first to see how he's going to be an impact in the offense. Because I don't see them changing the whole offense just because they added one player. Mm-hmm. Right? It might make the offense run a little smoother, a little bit better, but don't look to make drastic changes just because he's coming. So I would say that, and I don't see us losing. We should not lose that game.
You got a score prediction?
On both sides. It's at home?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Now keep in mind, on paper, and when I say on paper, I mean like the numbers say they have the number 1 defense in the league right now.
Tennessee?
Yes.
Cap. but you said it though on paper. So
yeah.
So I think the hardest defense we played so far was the Ravens and the Jets. Really, the Jets, because the Ravens, they just curb stomped us with the offense. But I think the Jets, even though their record don't have a great record, their defense is nice, man. Yeah. So that's not an oversight, on the Jets. But yeah, I think so. Predictions, I say at home, give me 31-10 Bills.
I think I might be very, very close to that. I'm going 28. And I don't know if the Titans can score a touchdown on us.
I'm not fearing the running backs.
Right.
And they have not been able to they kind of like us, they have not been in sync with their passing offense at all.
Calvin really is getting like 3 targets a game, not even.
Yeah.
He's barely getting used.
Even D-Hop. So
Yeah, I can't see him scoring a touchdown. I really can't. I think I'll give him 28-6.
I will say this though. Just odd. I think Josh throws his first pick this game.
Ooh. L'Jarius Sneed and Chidobe Awuzie are their corners. Great man press corners.
Yeah. And I just looking at the Jets game, I think Josh's confidence is back. Just his facial expressions, the way he was getting in the groove. He was happy. He was feeling it. Yeah. Now you got Cooper. He really going to be feeling it. He's going to be having a blast and throwing that ball out there. So
he's going to want to get it deep.
So I think that's where his first interception is going to come from.
Okay.
So I have, first I'll go 21-14.
Okay.
This is why. I really don't think the Titans are a threat. I'm not worried about this game at all. But what I am worried about is Josh. I'm worried about, like you said, Josh throwing the ball out there. And what you have to realize is they have Sweat and they have Simmons in the middle. What do we run? We run up the middle all the time. It's not going to work today or on Sunday. You have to run to the outside, so they have to fix that part of the game. If they decide to want to do that, we can talk about another touchdown or so. So we're creeping up.
Yeah.
Secondly, Josh Allen, are you going to be within our offense? Or are you going to do what you want to do? The reason why I say that, the Ray Davis catch. The reason why people love Josh is because he does all this crazy stuff. He does all this stuff that nobody else does. But does he really have to? He doesn't. Because even on the Ray Davis pass, Khalil Shakir was right there for a wide open catch. I watched the all-22. I said, and he was open. And he had a clean pocket. Josh escaped the clean pocket and ran that thing through that thing. It looked pretty. But after a while, that play is not going to be as susceptible to success for us. Yeah.
Was that Shakir easier? Was it an easier throw?
It was wide open.
It was an easier throw, though?
He was right there. 5 yards away. 5 yards away. And Josh, 5-step drop, maybe. Yeah. Hit him, and he could have turned it up and got, he wouldn't have got 40, whatever Ray Davis got. But
he saw. Ooh.
That's what did I say last time? I said when I'm afraid of with Josh, what I said, you have to give him those big plays so that he says, okay, I want to do something snazzy.
Yep.
Whereas we talked about this before. All the open underneath he's had it, he's ignored. Yeah. You got to learn. The offense is predicated on those little shorts, those little the yaks.
Right.
You know, and they built the team to hamper you from being able to throw that deep ball. You can throw it all day long. Mac Hollins ain't catching it.
Right.
You know, Steph Diggs wasn't really going to catch it over. We saw that, and everybody likes to talk about that over and over and over again. Keon Coleman, he doesn't get open enough deep, down the field in order to get that ball thrown to him. So, I mean, like I said before, we have to have Josh Allen play within the framework of an offense, not for this game so much as going forward.
Well, we got a few people that are saying don't underestimate the Titans defense. Actually, Steve says the defensive. I'm sorry. Yeah, they have defensive coordinator comes from Baltimore. Excuse me. He also says they have the players in the scheme to do exactly what Baltimore did to the Bills.
Minus the running backs. They ain't got Derrick Henry.
Well, no. I think he's saying just strictly defensive.
Oh,
offensively,
defensive-wise,
they can't. They're not going to do much of anything. They may be able to get a few runs, and you know Tony Pollard's he's a good speedy back, but they're not going to be able to do enough. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have a passing game.
You put in perspective, Tony Pollard is their leading receiver, 60 yards a game.
Yeah.
Will Levis averages 139 yards a game. I mean, you're talking about a quarterback who's been sacked sacked 10% of his dropbacks.
So unless this is going to be a Zach Wilson game, you know what I'm saying, where he throws a couple of decent passes to Garrett Wilson and the defense just plays out of its mind, I still don't see them winning this game. I will say this. Do you think this game becomes a lot more challenging for the Bills if Amari Cooper is not able to play?
No.
Don't.
No.
Still?
I don't.
See, I think they need Amari Cooper in order to take the attention away from the other receivers to kind of open things up a little bit.
I think it definitely helps, but even if let's say he doesn't play, I think they still do exactly what they did to the Jets, just better against Tennessee. Because, like I said, I don't think their defense is as good as the Jets, so I don't think they struggle there at all. Especially you got Shakir back, Cook is playing, so.
I'll put it like this: they're and if you do you have anything in your notes about Tavondre, my guy?
No, but what do you want to know?
Well, there's a point about him I wanted to bring up in a second, but their linebacking core can't cover. They're all downhill dudes. You know what I'm saying? So the idea that they can
A bunch of Dorian Williams.
right.
Dorian
Yeah.
Williams,
So the idea that they can do to us what Baltimore did, maybe to a degree, I respect the point. I just don't think they can do it to the level that Baltimore did to create enough issues to really stop the Bills. That's part of the reason why I think this is going to be a pretty easy day for the Bills. On top of that, I should say aside from that, really, their defensive line, though, is probably their defensive line and their corners are the strength of that team. Tavondre Sweat and Jeffrey Simmons are monsters on that defensive line. What they are able to do, just the two of them, to hold up offensive linemen, it has to be respected. So I think the Bills are going to have a tougher time running the ball against this team for sure, but if they can get some outside runs on this team and some decent zone scheme type of runs to the outside away from Tavondre Sweat, I think this team will be able to be successful with some bootlegs and setting up those type of play action plays and stuff like that, where it can really just make things easy for Josh because he'll be able to run and take off if he needs to. He's going to be faster than pretty much all the linebackers they have. And he'll be able to make plays and make the game easy.
This guy said play action passes. Listen to him. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. The only other point I had on the game is I think this could be a big game for our defensive backfield because Calvin Ridley is causing the stink. I think he had 10 targets last game, but they were all in like the third or fourth quarter, and he's pissed off. So if they start trying to force the ball to Ridley, that could cue up some interceptions, a massive pass breakup game. That could cue up some miscues on the Titans' offense. So a couple of that with Will Levis being green around the gills, this could be a good game for our defense. It'd be a trendsetter.
Yeah, I agree. Steve says Baltimore played man zero with no one rushing, and we couldn't do nothing. That's complete disrespect. We may win if Amari isn't a decoy. We will not look great on offense. Levi's interceptions will make it easy. Last point I agree with. Baltimore did play. So Baltimore was able to do what they were able to do because their linebackers could spy Josh. That's and I've been talking to my pop about this too. That's been the biggest thing that's created issues for the Bills in this iteration of the Bills. This particular style of offense that they've been trying to play is because teams don't have to respect the outside receiver. They can play man coverage and bottle things up out there, and they can dedicate a spy. See, when you have to dedicate one side of your defense to a receiver, now all of a sudden you have to cover the whole rest of the side of the of everywhere else with all the other defenders that you have. So at any given point in time, you have to dedicate 3, sometimes 4 players to stopping one receiver if they're good enough. And Amari Cooper at times has been that good. But what that also does is it stops teams from being able to spy as much because they have to worry about covering a running back or covering a tight end, or you know what I'm saying? If if an offense can put enough receivers on the field and one of those receivers is a bona fide number 1, you have to respect that. And that makes things difficult in terms of being able to do what Baltimore did. They were able to do that because A, Shakir got hurt in that game. B, they didn't have to respect anybody else outside of Shakir. And that game plan is I just don't think it's going to work anymore.
The thing that tears me about the Baltimore game is that everybody assumed the middle of the field wasn't open. That's the thing that pisses me off to this day about that game.
Even in the Texas game, there was stuff open, right?
Yeah. The blueprint every game. The blueprint with the Ravens was outlined, I think, against the Chiefs. They kept running the clear outs. They ran clear outs, and Roquan Smith had to make a decision, and he left it open every time.
Yeah,
every time. So I think before that game, I said we need to exploit that middle. Dawson Knox, Mac Hollins, right. Dalton Kincaid. See, the thing is, it's not that it's not there. Because, like you said, they spy. Josh Allen is one of the least blitz quarterbacks in the league. His pocket he has a clean pocket 65% of his dropbacks. But the problem is people see, he's not getting because he's holding the ball too long.
Well, that's weird because at the same time, Josh isn't he one of the most pressured quarterbacks in the league right now?
I have to look that up. But whether he's the most pressured quarterback in the league or not, a lot of it falls on him. If you look at the ratio, he caused a lot of his pressures.
The ball.
Yeah, he's holding the ball too long. But the thing is, if you look at the data on, and I know I'm a stat nerd. Anyway,
what was that?
I don't have my glasses right now. But nerd corner. But no, if you look at the data, it shows that Josh Allen does have a clean pocket a lot of the time. You know, we're looking at Will Levis, like I said, 10% of his dropbacks he's sacked. How does that happen? He's holding the ball too long. You don't know where he's going. You don't know what he's seeing. So simulated pressures have worked on him, and I believe simulated pressures work on Allen because he thinks they're coming. Or, he doesn't like what he sees because coming out of college, we knew he was late. He was late throwing the ball. When you're late throwing the ball, that tells me that you're late what? Reading the defense or reading the coverages.
Right.
Because he's used to not having to throw in anticipation when things come open. He has to see it, and he has the arm strength to get it there. And that's why we love him so much because he's got that strong butt arm.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize is a lot of the heroics that he does, a lot of the cape wearing that he does, it's only because of the stuff that he does to create those situations. And he gets out of it. So I'm not going to say he doesn't, but it's just the fact, could you make it easier? Is it him or is it the scheme? And even I think Greg Cosell said, and I wish I would have had this show on Monday because I had this thought. I was like, why is it so hard? He made it look great, but he didn't have to run there. He didn't have to run there. I watched all 20. He's like, he's open.
Right.
And some guy, sometimes you look, he's like, what? He couldn't have seen that because he was over there already and guy was back here. I get it. But, a lot of times it's like, just right there. Ray Davis is cooking. People going him over the middle.
Right. One of the things that I've been seeing on tape a lot lately, and you guys tell me if you agree with this, is before the Jets game. I think the Jets game was probably the first time that you saw Josh play a full game where he didn't look nervous behind that offensive line.
You said before the Jets game?
Before the Jets game. I don't remember him looking nervous at all in the Jets game behind that offensive line. Part of it is because the Jets defensive line really isn't playing that well this year. They don't have a bona fide pass rusher aside from Quinnen Williams.
Go ahead.
But what I did notice on tape is a lot of times he's feeling pressure that's not there. He's getting out too early.
Simulated pressures.
Right. Yeah. And what that the first thing that does is it cuts off half the field because he's always going to roll right. That's where he's comfortable going.
And the funny thing is, that's where all the pressure comes from.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part.
Which, again, don't get me started on Deion Dawkins.
No, the right side. It's coming from the right. It's coming from Torrance
right side?
and coming between Torrance and McGovern.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
About to say that's a 3-time Pro Bowler.
The,
You watch your
oh,
mouth.
He said, put some respect on this. But no, don't make me put because I had someone that. I had someone that. And I'm laughing
starting already.
I'm laughing because remember I sent you.
Yeah, right.
I think that thing was Stone Cold Steve Austin on Instagram.
Yo.
I said he was like, I refuse to laugh. I'm like,
Yeah,
do it.
Yo, he was clearing the Jets out, though.
he was clearing them out.
That was. I was like, where is this going? Oh.
I'll wait.
He's trying to. Nope. You don't. Nope.
I'll wait.
Anybody follow Deion Dawkins on IG, you know. If you follow him on Tuesday, you saw it, and it was hilarious.
You guys.
Nope.
No.
Don't get me
You
started.
keep going? You want to keep going? Okay.
I got a point to double.
What, I mean, wait. Since we talking about Bills players doing wrestling moves, did y'all see that RKO that Taylor Rapp laid on that receiver?
Yo.
Like, dude came. You didn't see it?
Yo,
You didn't see the pass breakup?
Yo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I was going to talk about when we got to the Jets. Like, everybody keeps saying, like, so Brandon Beam made a comment that said that they might not be done in the for trading wise, right? Mm-hmm. So they're saying, oh, we need to get a linebacker or we need a safety. I'm like,
why do we need? Never mind. Go ahead.
Screw structure. Let's get to that.
I'm like, what? Do we really need a safety? I'm like, okay, fine. Cole Bishop gave up a couple plays, but
He's young.
he's a rookie.
Well,
This is his first year. Like, nobody is beating us.
I got something on that too. So
Nobody is beating us in the air like consecutively. Most games, if you watch all the Bills games, they're gonna give up one big play. Then they're gonna adjust, put the clamps on them, and it's not gonna happen again. Minus the run game.
I actually
I'm
have
talking about the passing game for the safeties.
I have a big point on that. I have a big one. So let me just make your point on line because I don't want to ignore it, but I wanted to talk about that. That was actually in my notes.
So as far as Josh's comfort level back there, I think that's been part of the issue in terms of the offense working the way that it was supposed to. And I think going into the Jets game, you can kind of tell that he had made it a point to just have some calm behind that offensive line. Now, like I said, it worked because the Jets' defensive line isn't that great. They are one of the top teams in terms of sacks, but they've also played against some bad teams this season too. So I think what we have to look forward to, I'll say, is we're not going to have to worry about that after Cooper, gets in there and starts playing. But in this Titans game in particular, I think that if Amari Cooper is not playing, to me, I think this game becomes much more difficult. I think Josh's the tendency that he has, if you will, and you touched on this too. You think he's going to throw a pick in this game? I mean, he should have already had
Josh
4.
Josh said I've already thrown picks. He just don't catch them. He's thrown like 7 of them already. It's like,
So I mean, I think with that in mind,
I think he needs his first one though. He needs his first one.
You think so?
I think he needs his first one.
No. Listen, the second he throws one interception, his chances of winning an MVP goes all the way to the bottom.
I don't care about that. I think he needs one to be a better quarterback. I think he's playing too conservative right now. I think that one interception will open the floodgates for him to see things differently. He's not playing a Josh Allen football that we know Josh Allen
but
plays.
that's what Sean wants. Like the way Josh is playing right now is exactly the way Sean wants. You take the chances when you absolutely have to, and leave everything else on the sideline.
Well, that's the thing. He's not taking what he has. He's taking what he wants to, and that's the problem. He's not.
You got to define the difference for me.
Well, for instance, okay, we'll go back to what was that? The
Texans game.
Was it? Texans game? Yeah, last drive of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't need to take any of those shots. You didn't need to take any of those shots. You wanted to. Now, what was called? It doesn't matter what was called. It was McDermott won it. You're the one throwing the ball. We saw the underneath. We were trying to run the clock out. McDermott said, get the first down. So that's what McDermott won. He didn't want to score.
Right.
Josh wanted to score in the Kansas City playoff game. I know the whole controversy. Stephon Diggs, Khalil Shakir. Josh wanted the touchdown. McDermott probably wanted that first or getting closer. McDermott wanted to run clock. Josh wanted to. He didn't need to. That's the difference between wanting and needing in my book. And I get what you're saying because you're right. There are things that elicit needing. And, if it was a 3rd and 23 or something like that, and you got to win it right now, you got to throw that ball. But when we got all day, we've seen it over and over and over again, all 22 shows. And anybody wants to argue, go watch it. I can't post it because I'll get demonetized. But those throws are there. They're there.
Demonetized.
Well, actually not demonetized. Probably get removed from whole Instagram construct.
Probably. We won't be able to be a podcast anymore.
Right.
But so
we lose the ability to function.
The Texans game, I'll give you that he had a guy underneath. The only thing is this: the first read on that play, it wasn't underneath. Like I said, they ran that play before, and the main read on there was that pump and go from foot dude was Hollins, right? And
I thought like that's not foot, but maybe him.
Yeah, it's either foot or hair guy. One of the two. So I don't know if I can fault him for that play, but the play after that, it was the play after that where he had a guy underneath open, and at that point it's 3rd down. The only thing with that again is he had, and we looked at this on Coach D's Corner. He had a guy coming open over the middle. I think it was Shavers.
Oh, Shavers?
Yeah, it was Shavers coming open over the middle behind the linebacker who was taking away the tight end route. It might have been Kincaid or Knox underneath. If he had a little bit more time, but because the lineman got pushed into him, he obviously didn't get a chance to do that. So it's Roy says pump and go, keep it PG, guys. That might be a little too much of what you used to, Roy. Anyway, so I mean, in those instances, I get it. It's either he's missing it because he doesn't perceive he has the time, or he actually doesn't have the time, and that's tricky. But I mean, obviously, as the season goes on, you have to develop trust with your offensive line. This is the first time that this iteration of the offensive line is playing together. I mean this year, because it's been very different before this. So, I mean,
and go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, to your point about the offensive line, I think Josh Allen was in practice with that line this week, and if you saw anything about that line against the Jets, he knew Spencer Brown and Deion Dawkins were going to be up for this game. He knew they were going to tear somebody's head off. He knew that there was he knew personal fouls were coming.
Do you think to some degree that's been a problem for the offensive line, is them getting up for games? Because they were dominant.
They were dominant against the Jets because they hate the Jets. And that's the thing. I wrote my notes. I need them to hate more teams.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves Ray Davis. For real. Everybody loves Ray Davis, which I'm going to give him his flowers. I'm 100%. I'm a James Cook guy.
That boy bangs.
But this is the thing. How big were the holes? How big were those holes? Well,
that's why I said when I texted, I'm like, man, if Cook would have played, bro.
I had to give it to him. Bro. I had to give it to him. I'm sorry.
How do you say it different? How big are the gaps? What do you say?
Hold on, man. You heard what you said?
You got caught, bro. You got friendly fire.
Only thing I had left was this thing. You don't want this.
No, you can't throw a baggie, bro. That's not
no,
going to
work. Not a baggie. It's got a little wrench thing in it. I don't
Go throw an insulated wrench.
Well, yeah, no. The point is though, if you look at Ray Davis versus James Cook this year is averaging 4.7 a carry. Yeah. Ray Davis is averaging about 4.7. Now Ray Davis before contact was getting 1.7 yards before contact against the Jets. James Cook for the season 2.0. So what does that give you? They're pretty much the same. Yeah. It was just the fact, like you said, Ray Davis, James Cook, he would have ran around some cats.
Right.
So you like it, I love it. I can see thunder and lightning with those two forever. I don't want to hear anybody talk about how let's get rid of it. No, they work together. There are going to be games where James Cook's better than Ray Davis, but they both need to play. Right. That's the thing. They both need to play.
With that, yes. Get them both in. I don't care if it's equal carries.
I don't care if it's at the same time at any point in the game.
They both just hold the ball together and run.
No, but Cook at the slide or something.
Somebody brought that up. Does this warrant more snaps for Ray Davis to be on the field alongside James Cook?
Yeah, because Cook can line up in the slide.
I would.
You know what I'm
Especially
saying?
in shotgun. I would definitely put them both back there in shotgun. Oh,
Think
man.
about James Cook in that Curtis Samuel role, that looper where he goes in motion and comes out on the flats. I mean, that would be a beautiful thing. The offense because at this point in time, defenses don't care about Curtis Samuel. They're like, this dude's he's nothing. He does nothing in their offense.
Right.
What do you guys think is the reason for the lack of use with Samuel?
Oh, that's easy. That's
go
an
ahead.
easy one. That's
What's
an easy-
that?
I've said it, but
give me that. Give me that.
Hold on,
Free throw.
hold on, Vince Carter. Layup.
All
Listen.
right, we'll go over that in a second.
Listen, my issue with the problem I think it is he's using him as a gadget player. What I say that is he's not putting them in the opportunity as a regular, like he has speed.
Mm-hmm.
He can use that speed in the regular offense.
Right.
You don't have to do those gadget plays for him. Now, if you're going to do it, you got to do it like San Fran's do it with Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel does both. He can line up in a slot, outside, running back, but the way they draw up the plays for him, it works. I feel like they're
But Deebo Samuel is 6'1", 220 though. Like Samuel ain't banging
true,
like that.
but with his speed,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
he was not that fast.
with
He's not
his
that
speed,
fast, yeah.
like if he would set him up better, I think he could be better used in our offense and he could be a threat and be a weapon. But I don't think Brady is using him the way he's supposed to use him.
Hey, Bills fans, 13 years ago, let's get him in space.
Matter of fact, I hate that. Every time, if you think about it, every time the Bills have had speed, he can't play regular offense. He's got to be a gadget player.
Gadget guy.
Yeah.
Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah.
Roscoe Parrish. They never gave him a solidified role. Hey, just only person who they really did it was Lee Evans. You saw what he did.
And
You
I
saw
hate it's true because that's his guy. But it's
right?
true.
But you saw the success he had. He was fast, and they let him play. They didn't put him, we're going to run the special No. Put him in the offense and let him work.
And
I
the
think
funny
that's
thing
the
is-
problem with Samuel. And part of it, too, is he's not 100% healthy. So especially to be a speed guy, like you need your feet.
Yeah.
Right?
So what's oh gosh, okay. I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to ask the question anyway.
You're going to say it. He's going to make us say it. Watch this.
Probably. What? So Curtis Samuel is Marquise Goodwin, is Isaiah McKenzie, is who else have we had that's supposed to be a gadget player?
Roscoe
here?
Parrish.
Disagree.
Roscoe Parrish.
He's better than all of them.
He is.
Curtis Samuel, 100%.
Yes.
Right.
That's why I
but-
disagree. I had to say
but-
it.
Kev says this is all on the OC right now.
I agree. I agree.
Kev, you heard me say that, right?
Really?
It's on Brady.
Kev, you heard me say it. Yes.
Even though pretty much every generation of Bills teams that we've seen has tried to do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I'll say that is because when we had Parrish and Goodwin, who on the Bills organization was still there?
What do you mean?
The different GM, different owner,
Oh,
different head
yeah,
coach.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's a whole brand new regime. So to me, it still puts it on the offensive coordinator.
Well, okay, so this is my thought. I think it goes a little bit deeper than that, right? I think to some degree there's a mentality about the way football needs to be played in Buffalo that has something to do with that too. Because if you look at Lee Evans' size, Lee Evans was 5'11", he was almost 200 pounds, right? And I think them looking at his size versus a Roscoe Parrish who was 5'9", 170 pounds soaking wet, a Curtis Samuel who's, I think he's 5'10", 180, 190 pounds or something like that. Like he's solid, but I just don't think these traditionalist head coaches come to Buffalo and hear about Buffalo's style and Buffalo's culture and all this kind of stuff and look at a smaller, fast receiver and go, that's going to be my number 2 guy.
That's why
you know what I'm saying?
That's why they don't go get Xavier Worthy. That's
Right.
why they don't use Kobe Listenby. Remember him?
Yeah.
That's why they don't use guys like that. I mean, these guys are one-trick ponies, if you will.
Yeah.
They go fast that way. And that's the way I want to go. I want to go that way.
But you want to use MVS as a one-trick pony?
Don't do that to me. don't say he's not here anymore. We're not
I
saying
get
that
it.
name. Sorry, MVS. I know you used to watch all the time. He didn't, but I had to put that in there because I know he's not watching now. But I mean, the signing was dumb, and I'm gonna get into that if we have time. The fact I had my mind was oozing. I mean, when I tell you it was oozing, just facts and vitriol this week because this is basically it's a snapshot of what we've been dealing with that people don't ignore. This is the snapshot. Because you look at MVS. You gave him what, $2.25 million?
Yep.
Guess what that is now? More
Trash.
dead cap.
Yep.
You go ahead and sign Amari Cooper. Everybody like, I'm gonna enter, but I'm not gonna go into that. You go get Amari Cooper. Oh snap! Guess what? He was already on the block. This was in the works.
Yep.
They restructured his contract before he came to Buffalo. This didn't happen last week.
Right.
They knew he was going.
They restructured him like 2 weeks ago.
It was early on, I think. I think it was before that.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they did that early. They knew it was over with.
Wow.
And the fact that they ate $19.5 million for this dude in order for him to go somewhere else,
Yep.
the Bills just lucked upon it. No, you know what? I'm going to stop there because Kev, hold with me because I know you might like this. But anyway, going back to the offensive line, everybody but David Edwards on that offensive line should have been angry. Everybody but David Edwards. I mean, Deion Dawkins is fighting with a water boy.
Roy wanted to know what your impression of Torrance was from watching the All-22.
I thought this was one of his better games because he was in the. That's my guy. He was in the toilet the first couple weeks, but he's coming out. You know, I didn't flush him. He's coming out. But you got to let the young guys cook.
Yeah.
Last year, you had 100% of snaps for the whole season. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Now people know what he does. They know he's slow. But then you also if you look at the film, you'll see what they try. The line is a move line now. Torrance don't move. So you asked him to do. I had my notes last week. You asked him to do everything that he can't do. He never was a mover. He was a phone booth guy that'll beat you. When you ever see him get pushed into Josh?
Right.
Never. But when you ever see him get to that second line, that look like, where's that linebacker I'm supposed to block? He's already gone.
Right.
Because I'm too slow. He knows his limitations. Yeah. Cromer knows too, but that doesn't work with our offensive strategy.
So, I mean, effectively, Torrance becomes a wasted pick then.
At this point, well.
I wouldn't
If you-
say a wasted pick because he's starting. So he's your starter. So like
he works
if somebody's
sometimes.
You gonna
better
give him a
than
second
him.
contract knowing what he can't do?
Well, no. Here's my thing. If
Who
he's
knows what else he's
starting,
gonna
like
be by then?
who's behind him that you can plug him out and put somebody else? All right, so he says, you know, we can put him in there because he's better than you. Like there's nobody outplaying him right now.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I think with Torrance, and this is tongue in cheek kind of, but who knows who the offensive coordinator is going to be at the time of the second contract?
That's true.
Right.
The boy can play.
I think for me, when I look at a draft pick, I'm saying to myself, okay? This is my threshold. If a draft pick gets a second contract, it was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that means you would have had the player for at least
4 years.
4 to 5 years, and the new contract is probably going to be at least 3 if they're good. You know what I'm saying? So you had this player now from 7 to 8 years. That is a successful draft pick. So when I look at Torrance and I say, man, this dude can't move, the only way for me to make that pick successful would be to change the offensive scheme or change the way the offensive line plays.
When I look at Torrance, this is what I see. I see Torrance has 2 more years on his contract.
Right.
Deion Dawkins, I don't know how many years he has left on his deal. David Edwards is a stopgap. Connor McGovern, 2 more years as well. And Spencer Brown's the only one that's on the team longer than 2 years, I believe, right now. So what is the offensive construct going to be when they're gone? When does Deion Dawkins become 33 years old and have to move to guard because he can't do it anymore on the outside? Yeah. Does the center become Van Pran, who wasn't really a move guy, even though he's not that big? What is the construct going to be when Torrance comes up? Because if it falls in line with what he is, because he's the kind of guy that's going to go somewhere and be a Wyatt Teller in the right offense.
Right. That to me is the problem. Is like, and not that I disagree with what you said, but I think to me, if we know, like you said, I firmly believe if Torrance went to a team like the 49ers, he'd be an all-pro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of offense that he needs to, like, run heavy, run it down your throat, like all of that. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right, I did it for myself. That's fine.
That's fine. Anyway,
run the ball straight, very effectively.
That was good. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Looking out.
How can I word this right?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's impossible to figure out here live on the spot. But that to me is why do you even draft that guy in the first place? Like all of these moves, the fact that we have Hamlin playing and I'm just gonna go there. The fact that we have Hamlin playing a position that he has no right to play. He's not a cover guy. He's a box guy, and you're forcing him to play split And Rap, I mean, neither one of those guys needs to be your cover guy.
See, that's the most sane thing I've heard somebody say when they don't think he should be on the field. That's the most intellectual comment I've ever heard when it comes to Damar Hamlin.
That ain't saying much.
No, it's saying a lot because you figured all these Bill savants that know everything. They look at the bill. Oh, he's not playing his position.
Right.
Why is he going single high? We knew that before.
Right.
And who's he going behind? What happened in Kings of Comedy, Mel? What happened to Steve Harvey when he went behind Bernie Mac? He bombed.
He got 8.
He got 8 up. So guess what? Damar Hamlin behind Micah Hyde. How are you supposed to succeed? How do you succeed?
Right.
How do you look good when you go against like a guy that was a 4 or 5 time Pro Bowler, All Pro? Come on now. This is his first year back from a catastrophic rehab.
Yeah.
And he's playing lights. I mean, not lights off. He's playing as good as he can play.
Right.
And
in a position he shouldn't
in a
be.
position he shouldn't play.
Yeah.
Furthermore, can I go here real quick? Furthermore, everybody's piling on our free safety. Why is nobody piling on our number 2 cornerback? Watch the all 22. He is hot garbage.
You talking about Benford?
No,
No.
Rasul.
Oh,
Rasul is terrible.
y'all calling Benford the one?
Yo,
He is now.
Remember, what was it, a couple shows ago?
No, I agree. I mean,
yo,
that's just man, it's different to hear.
give my man the
It's different to
crown.
hear.
He's definitely our best
okay.
corner.
I mean, I think we all agreed on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Bedford is definitely the best corner they have
Yeah,
right now.
but Rasul Douglas is not Rasul Douglas from last year. I don't care about the interceptions. He's not willing to tackle. How many times has he missed a tackle? How many times has he missed his coverage? Do you know that he leads the league by 200% in quarterback rating against? Damar Hamlin, 52%. Christian Benford, 57%. Taylor Rapp, like 60%. Mr. Rasul Douglas, you're at 129.7%. That means on the 23 targets, you've allowed 19 receptions. You have more yards per target more yards per reception than anybody else on the team. More yards per reception. You have 2 pass breakups. You know who that ties with? Mr. Damar Hamlin. You don't have any interceptions, do you? No interceptions for Rasul Douglas. Guess who does?
Damar
Hamlin. But because he's playing out of position and people don't have the intellect to realize that,
Right.
now we got to go to the low-hanging fruit, the guy that's new to the defense, the guy that was not on the team last year for all intents and purposes, and say he's trash.
Yep. And I think a lot of that got to do with what you said a couple shows ago when he had that luxury of having Poyer and Hyde behind him. He didn't have to do much.
Right.
So he could just this is easy. But now that they're gone, now you got to do more. And he was like, oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Those times where he was, playing next to Poyer, it wasn't the coverage you were worried about. Like when Hyde went down and he was forced to play and Poyer was like the only healthy, star that we had on the team at that point.
Yeah.
The only thing that we were saying
Healthy.
about Yeah, exactly.
Finger quotes.
Playing on one leg and all that.
Right.
The thing we were worried about with Hamlin back then was, he's taking bad angles. Well, that comes with experience. You got to get used to the speed of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, he really hadn't played much at all in an actual game with live bullets flying. So
He had 91 tackles before he got hurt in 2022. 91 tackles. He was in on the play. I mean, like you said, it was all about the coverage angles. What is his problem now? He can react. He knows where the ball is. You can see it. He's there before Rapp is. Rapp has one good game in. Oh man, we got an outlier. Maybe it was a bad game.
So with all that said, though, because ultimately what we've revealed is there is a hole that needs to be filled by a cover safety. Who do you take out from this safety lineup in order to replace with a cover safety?
Where's the cover safety coming from?
Well,
You mean within the organization? I'm not asking
no,
you to
I
name
don't
one.
think we
Okay.
have a cover safety
But
in
see-
the organization
See,
right now.
I think that's where we fall in because you actually I'm giving you too much credit today, but you are the one that disproved my notion, and you were right because I was like, why don't we have that single high safety, Cam Kinchins? Why don't we have this guy? You said I don't think they want him, and look what we got now. The same with the wide receivers. Is the wide receiver room working? I know Max said they're doing pretty good, which is fine. I think Josh is making them not look as good as they could because you see when Mac Hollins goes across the middle, bada bing.
Yeah.
When you got Keon Coleman wide open across the middle and the ball's way down there to Mac Hollins, it doesn't look good.
Right.
It looks like poo. But guess what? When you got, like you said, when you have 2 safeties, Taylor Rapp, Mr. Yeah, you got me some points in fantasy. Roy, sorry about that. You got me some points in fantasy. But where were you the last 4 games, 5 games before that? Where were you then? You were nowhere to be found. You were in your back pedal when the ball's already been tackled. You don't know where the ball is.
Right.
I've seen that. What happened? Was it week 1 where Rapids was that preseason week 1 where Rapids running with the running back, setting a block? Remember that?
Oh my
He's
God!
running
He
with
wasn't
the guy.
setting a block. He was trying to hold the angle.
He was
talking about this.
You got to close the angle at
I
some
think
point.
that was week 1.
He
It
running
might
like
have been
this.
week
He
one.
like this him. What are you doing? I see
He's keeping the guy in front of him so that the defender behind him can catch him from behind and he doesn't score a touchdown.
Okay, but no, I mean, but the thing is,
So
I'm
done
not
with this
pounding on Rap.
conversation.
I'm really not pounding on Rap because
No, I
Rap
know.
did play well. But the thing is, if you're gonna make these assumptions, you're gonna make these comments. It's driving me nuts. Everybody, you got people that say Ed Oliver sucks. He ain't even playing right now. But you have a narrative. You have a crusade. You know, anything you say about me, Dermot, anything I say about Bean, anything we say about this, we can prove it. Give me some data. Give me something. But when you just talking because, I just don't like what I saw, you didn't see anything. You don't know what you're looking at because how do you know what they're being asked to do?
Yeah.
You don't. Unless you're on the sideline, you have no idea what they're being asked to do. You have no idea what you're evaluating because what they say all those years before when they wanted us to believe this guy was good, Gabe Davis was great. This guy, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go there with Gabe, but Devin Singletary is amazing. Why? Because he has 5.7 yards of carry. Right. Why though? Why does he have that? Can you explain that to me?
You gotta learn how to read the stats.
You got to know how to read the stats. You got to know how to read what you're seeing. What my eyes tell me. Yep. What do your eyes say?
Well, I think that's why we started doing Coach D's Corner because it is important to not just, and you know how I am with stats. Like part of the reason I'm not big on stats like that is because I think they can be spun in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely.
And what I like to do though is and this is what most, and we do this now with our scouting and what we watch on tape. We'll look at the tape and we'll see what they look like. Okay, now what do the numbers say? Do the numbers line up with what I'm seeing on tape? And that's the importance of actually doing the film study and not just taking whatever stats you hear on the radio or wherever else to the water cooler with you and thinking that is the end of the conversation. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes it's not. And to be honest, NFL scouts don't even look at things that way. They Brandon Beane has talked about this before. Like he doesn't look like Keon Coleman doesn't look like a 4.6 guy on the field. Mm-hmm. He looks like a 4 or 5 guy. Mm-hmm. So if he ran a slow time, well, hold on, let me go back and look at a little bit more video and see if that, you know what I mean?
It's just because.
So, but to bring it back to the question,
what was it?
We need to replace one of these safeties with a cover guy. Who are you taking off the field?
So you're saying from inside to inside?
No, I'm saying I don't think Bishop is a cover guy, and I really don't. I think Mike Edwards is probably the poorest version of all of the safeties we have. Honestly, in terms of pure talent, I think he's the least talented safety that we have.
Don't say that, you're gonna get canceled. Everybody wants to be number 3.
That's fine. He's played on some good teams, and he's not a bad safety, but he has to be one of those box guys that's not asked to do too much because that's kind of the role he's had.
Can I have full disclosure here on that?
Sure.
Mike Edwards, to me, when he got signed to Buffalo, I didn't like it because I knew what I thought we needed, which is that roving cover guy. And what everybody said about him, he's won before. He's done this. He was a star. I don't care. I was on teams that did things. Did I play all the time? No. But guess what? Can I say I wasn't a contributor? I was hurt. But I was there. I had the jersey. Right. And that's where he is. Will we stop with this? Because every time we bring somebody in, MVS, now not Amari Cooper because he really hasn't won anything, so to speak. He's been good. Yeah. But his teams haven't been, upper echelon great teams. So I'm not going to say him, but, Mike Edwards and anybody you bring in to get intel, these old heads, Mitch Morris, whoever you bring in to coach other players, stop. Because guess what? The thing about this with me is when you have a Khalil Shakir, people say he's definitely not a number 1 wide receiver. How do you know? How do you know that? Because I remember it, Devontae Adams is one of the best route runners out there, right? Mm-hmm. What round was he drafted in? The 2nd. Yep. So that means he wasn't the best wide receiver in that draft class. Correct. What round was Stephon Diggs drafted in? 4th. Yeah. Yep. Which means he wasn't even nowhere near one of the best perceived wide receivers in the draft when he came out. But guess what? They became that dude. Yeah. You see Khalil Shakir putting in work. Khalil Shakir ran a 4.42. What did Amari Cooper run? A 4.41. Mm-hmm. Khalil Shakir is what? 6 feet tall? How tall is Amari Cooper? 6'1"?
6'1".
They're 20 pounds apart. 20 pounds apart. They had the only thing that really separates them is the 3-cone drill. The Amari Cooper's 3-cone drill is way better than Khalil Shakir's. That's it. So how are you going to sit here and tell me off these little, how many targets does Khalil Shakir have this year? 30, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
So you made the determination in his second year of actually playing with 30 targets that he's not a number one guy.
And he was on a snap count last game.
Snap count. But we clearly dictated that when Khalil Shakir is not in the game, the offense suffers. You can't have two.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
You can clearly see the drop off.
You see the drop off when Shakir. So guess what that is? A number one. In his second year, you're the number one on a contending team. A contending team, not the Browns, not the Raiders, not those kind of teams that just are here to be there. I'm here so I don't get fired. We don't want. We're talking about a guy on a team that is going places. Use him because obviously Kincaid can't get open. Shakir the same way. They got two guys. One of them gets open, one of them can't, and that's fine. But to tell me right now because he's not going off for meteoric numbers, wonder why. Once again, look at the film. Is he open? Are we throwing the ball? Is he dropping the ball? Because last time I checked, Khalil Shakir has like an 82% career completion percentage. Yep. He don't drop nothing. He had 95 last year. He don't drop nothing. Right. So to tell me that this guy is not a number one and Amari Cooper is clearly better at 30 years old, why? I mean, we love the name. We love what he did. We love what we see on highlights, but why? Because I have a friend that was a Raiders fan. He said he's gonna give you 300-yard games. He's gonna give you 5 or 60 in the rest of them. So is that a number one? Can't Khalil Shakir do that?
What I think it is too, Key, is how their number one looks, right? How they use them. So like we've seen Amari Cooper play like a traditional number one. He's the guy on the outside making the big plays and doing that. Mm-hmm. Because we don't use Khalil Shakir that way, they don't get that same impact that he's a number one wide receiver because he's not doing it like everybody else is doing.
Exactly.
Right? They're not. They want to see what all the other teams do. They want to see how CeeDee Lamb goes down the field, how Justin Jefferson, all those guys. Oh yeah, we don't have a guy who does that. But just because we don't use him like that, he kills him in the slot. But they don't look at the value in that because it's not the big plays. It's not the touchdowns. Yeah. It's not that. It's not the wow factor.
Right.
So because you don't have the wow factor, he must not be as good as these guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And one thing I'll say too about the getting open part, a lot of that has to do with. I'm sorry, it's got to do with Josh because like you said, a lot of times if Josh will stay in the pocket a little bit longer, it happens. What I will say though is. What Josh likes to do is he reads the defense quick. So as the wide receivers, and it shows by the type of receivers that we got, because they don't get open that quick, it makes him roll around. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious to see how that looks with Cooper because that's what Cooper is good at, that one-on-one separation, and he does it quick. So like if Josh sees him quick, he's probably going to throw it to him early. So that might hinder him from running out of pocket too soon, or set it like sometimes, like we said it plenty of times, all he got to do is step up.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yep. Now it gives you more time, but he just like, oh, crap.
Nope, I'm out of here.
Crap.
And I think that's been the issue. Stevie was on the radio today talking about.
He was at my son's school today.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
What is his book? He has books.
I don't know. I don't know what he did. Cause he was like, I had a celebrity at my school. I was like, who? He was like, I don't know. He was a Bill. I'm like,
no, he was pushing his book.
He's like Stevie something. I said, oh, Stevie Johnny. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So upset. You're supposed to call me with stuff like that.
I didn't know.
Unbelievable. But yeah, so one of the things that Stevie was saying when he was playing with Fitz would wait for him to get open because he said usually quarterbacks they're told as soon as you hit that back foot, ball out. And he said Fitz was told the same thing. As soon as you hit that back foot, 3-step, 5-step drop, ball out. And Fitz would actually wait for Stevie to get open and give him that extra half a second and stuff like that, and that's why it works so well. But I'm saying all that to say, I don't think Josh does that for his receivers. Nope. It's read the field is not there. Okay, I'm gonna go make a play.
And I think it's because the receivers that we got, that's not what their skill set is or their strength is.
Yeah, it's
to get open
beating
quick like
man
that.
coverage. Yeah, exactly.
Now, like I said, if he gives them more time, he'll see them get open. Like especially like Kincaid. Like Kincaid, to me, he's good, but he just don't get open quick enough for Josh. Right. And sometimes he's got to go to another read or he has to start running out of the pocket because he didn't get open quick enough.
Right.
And I think this is the funny thing I looked at. I looked at next gen stats, okay? And I know we're not doing a stat show. I get it. But, everybody talks about separation. Amari Cooper, he's averaging at the get-off 6.2 yards of cushion. That rates below Steph Diggs, Gabe Davis, and Khalil Shakir. Now, could it be because of who his quarterback is, Deshaun Watson? Probably. Amari Cooper's 2.7 yards per separation ranks far behind Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid. Get this. Mac Hollins has better separation than him.
I told you that boy can separate. He just can't catch.
He can catch the short one. But he also has 1/10 of a second more than Gabe Davis. 1/10 of a second more than Gabe. This is Amari Cooper. He has half a second more than Keon Coleman. So 0.5 seconds left. 0.5 seconds more than Keon Coleman's of separation. The most elite wide receiver was Jordan Whittington, who was drafted in the 6th round. We couldn't have made a move for Jordan Whittington. Let's see. Average yards after catch above expectations for Amari Cooper, negative 0.4 yards.
Now that, to me, that's definitely with quarterbacks.
Well, no, that's not. That's his stat. Because what that is that's saying based on how you caught the ball, you should have had. So they're looking at like the position of the defender and what you could have done to get more yardage.
That's why I said it's on the quarterback, because I feel like they put him in spots where he can't. So for like a wide receiver, if I'm on a route and you want me to be productive,
right.
If you put it in a certain way, I can get more yards. But if you put it down here, now you hindering me from getting more yards. Because now I'm.
That's what the stat dictates, though. The stat takes that into account. It says based on how you caught it and what you had when you caught the ball, you could have got. We expect you to get another yard, so he's less than what they expected. Every major bill not named Curtis Samuel was higher. Steph Diggs too. I think the thing about Amari Cooper that people love is that he doesn't talk. He's very quiet. He's never really been a guy that it is what it is. If you listen to his press conference, and this is, I don't know if did you guys see the video on Instagram or whatever it was, or whatever media you look at, where it showed Amari Cooper walking out on the field?
Yep.
Did you do what I did? Now, take a guess what I did.
What?
I went, you know what? Go ahead. Put it in the comments if you think I did it. If you think you know me, tell me what I did. 5, 4, 3.
Wait, ain't nobody say nothing yet.
1. Okay.
All right. Ain't nobody say nothing. Go
I went to the comments and looked for somebody to say, Amari doesn't look like he's happy to be here. I don't give a hot patooey if this dude cares if he wants. I don't care. Mel, do you I mean, I'm not going to say it because I don't know.
Sal said Cooper is a quiet all-pro.
He is. He's quiet.
He people was making fun of his haircut, but like
people, okay, don't do it. I'll put myself on blast. Yes, I did.
A lot of people.
Yeah, it's more than
a lot
just
of people. But when I looked at his interview and I saw, like, to me, like, he fits the bill. Like he could have, to me, he could have played in the 70s and the 80s. Like he's that type of guy.
He did.
Like,
you didn't know.
Like, like he's that old school wide receiver type.
He's reincarnated.
Like, I'm coming here. I'm playing ball. Like,
I can see him lining up next to Jim Brown.
Bro, like he's not a heavy talker. Like he comes to me, and I really hope that I'm right. I think Keon Coleman will be more affected by him than any other wide receiver even more than Mac Hollins, because to me, Keon Coleman has the same mentality. He wants the ball and be great. He's not a real talker, but it's just his personality is so different that everybody is attracted by his personality. He says crazy stuff, and he's like, oh man, like they want to make him out of a gag reel, like, oh, look how funny he is. Or
he's like, I don't like that,
but he's just all about ball. So I think with him with Cooper, who's like he's like the opposite personality, real quiet, real down to earth, but again, he's about his business. He's about ball. That's what Keon needs to see.
See, I think I don't want to say the opposite, but I think the person that Keon Coleman needed was let go.
Oh, Diggs?
That's the guy I can see him becoming. If he wants to be great.
Sean would never let that happen.
I know. That's why they got rid of him.
Oh, okay.
But if he wants to be, but see, the parallels are there, though. If you look at Coleman working out, he's working out on dirt fields. It's nothing cute. It's grass mist. It's like Johnny B. Wiley Stadium. He's working out on. He's got his shirt off. He's sweating. He's doing it. This is not a pub reel. You know, what did he say? I don't really care what would Diggs say if somebody said, hey, Diggs, what Chris Carter and Randy Moss. I don't care about them. I can only be Diggs. That's what he would say. What did Coleman say? I don't care about Steph and Gabe. I can only be Keon. That's the same guy. The guy that said that to me would demand more in practice when he gets when he gets in the second, third year.
I really hope this is sarcasm. Leak says, so you want another diva?
Yes, yes, I do.
But
yes, I do. Honest, 100% I do.
But see, I don't think his personality would have been more beneficial to Coleman than Amari Cooper's personality. I'm not saying their play style or their hard work, but I think the personality will better fit Keon Coleman than Diggs would.
I think Keon and Steph have the same personality. That's what I'm saying.
No.
I think they do.
I actually agree with that.
Same personality as Diggs?
I think so.
Like if you have you listened to him like talk about ball? Like his mindset about ball is like he's a very serious cat when it comes to ball. You know what I'm saying? But
that's Cooper.
Yeah, but
that's not
I mean,
Diggs.
But I think
Cooper's
I can see
demeanor though. Like it's a different demeanor. It's a different like Cooper is serious in a calm and self-assured
Cooper is you.
way.
You're Cooper.
Yeah, like
That's you. What? Okay, explain.
Oh.
Hi, even your son said, "Yep."
Who Cooper is?
huh?
You don't know who Cooper is.
No, but this is why I say you're Cooper. This is why, because if I come to Mac on 10, I'm not going to A on 10 because A gonna like do it. Mac gonna be like, you know what? I feel you, but this, and y'all know this. You've heard him say it a million times on the show. I get it, but this is how I feel. I can see Cooper being that locker room counselor.
Yeah.
I see Keon Coleman in the locker room like, yo, y'all motherfuckers suck.
Yeah.
Y'all need to step this. I can see that. I can see Amari Cooper saying, you know what? You guys aren't playing to your capabilities.
There is a reason people cannot get to Keon Coleman right now. I'm just saying. Have y'all heard any interviews outside of press conferences
after
with
he
Keon
said
Coleman?
after they tried to get somebody, he wouldn't give them any.
Right. There's a reason y'all can't get to the
You could
dude
be right.
now.
We don't know. You know.
So what I mean by what I'm saying personality wise, Cooper is not gonna go to people. You got to come to him.
Mm-hmm.
Diggs, he will go to you, but he's not. I don't know. So for me, Coleman, he's not the person that's gonna. He's like he's a very social guy, right? So what I mean by that is he's all about ball, but at the same time, he's gonna come to you not to joke. He's gonna come to you to like, hey, what you do on that route right there? Or like, what you do? Like, yo, you see this tape? What do you think about this? That's why I say I think Cooper will be the best person because Cooper to me is the same way, just years ahead of him, right? He looks at tape and film and study and ball the same way Keon Coleman does. And I think by the personalities, by him being like so cool and laid back, it's easier for him to learn from. Keon Coleman can learn from him because he's so easy and laid back. So to me, for example, Diggs might teach him something, but he was like, hey, you ain't got to worry about that. Let's do, like, I don't know. I don't think he would have been more as serious about ball than Cooper would have.
I mean, like I said, I don't know. I'm just going from the outside looking in. But like you said, there's a reason. There's got to be a reason. And I promise you, hand on the Bible that's not here. I don't know anything inside. Okay, all I can tell you is there's a reason why we haven't heard from Keon Coleman after the one little soundbite thing they do with every other rookie. They do it with everybody.
Yeah.
Keon Coleman, I don't like blue cheese. I ain't eating this beef on way. I don't like Logan Berry. Dwayne Carter eats it up. You know, they all eat it up. This dude, I don't think that he's the guy that's gonna like conform. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's gonna be conforming.
I've been told he's a wild boy.
Who said that?
He's a wild boy.
Oh, you said that.
I've been told he's a wild boy. So
I'm like, who said that? Kevin, that's you.
I can't go into too much more detail than that. But again, there's a reason why I say it that way. You know, there truly is a reason why you can't get to Keon Coleman right now.
I don't even want no more detail. I want the credibility of not knowing Jack.
He So what I can say is usually when a player is put on lockdown like that, it's most of the time a situation where the player cannot be controlled the way the team wants the player to behave.
That's what I see.
Right. But that's why I'm able to say what I'm saying, because
right.
you did bring that out, and that is a very accurate connection to what's happening is the team can't get out of him publicly what they want out of him publicly, and so we need to put you away. You got to be tucked. I'm sorry, I can't trust you to do the right thing. So
I think the cool appearance of him is from Opelousas, Louisiana. I think it's just the culture where he's from. But for instance, when Matt gets mad, Matt reacts completely different than when I get mad. Mac he's the level-headed one. I'll tell y'all that right now. That's why I love him. That's why he's my brother. Yo, just fuck me.
I'm probably the hottest head out of all of us.
Well, you're the most outright one. I think I'm the hottest head.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm too big to show anybody, so I just keep it locked away. But
I'm too big.
people are like, yo, nope, he's got to get arrested for something. But but yeah, no, I think when it comes to Cooper, I think Cooper is the best example of what they want out of Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
I think Diggs is the one that Keon Coleman would learn the most because they're, to me, the most similar in your intrinsic demeanor.
Yeah.
Because you look at the video of I saw this, and you guys, I'm not going in this further. You guys, we're not doing the AO because I just got to get past this. But the video just surfaced. I saw it on Facebook yesterday, and for you guys that know, he was like, "This is a year or so ago." That WAP. He said that, and nobody knew. But now, what's the rumor with Stephon Diggs? He indulged with somebody who has a song called WAP. Keon Coleman, I could see that slipping out of him. But Amari Cooper, nah. And they're like, no, we don't want that around our young guys. We want this. Yeah. So we'll give you Mac Hollins. We'll give you Curtis Samuel. We'll give you Amari Cooper now. We'll give you all these guys on this leadership council to get that away. We'll eat $31 million to get that away because you're our new guy. You're being told us. That's our ex. Is he our ex now? Freak no. Right. He's done nothing, but what he gave you was insight into what their future plans are. And what I have to do is insulate my future ex, which is your star wide receiver, with the best examples I can. You're going to drink this Loganberry. You're going to like the beef on wet. I bet I'll have you eating blue cheese because it's just the fact that they're trying. I'm not going to say they're trying to break him, but they're trying to get out him, if you will, whatever that is in the movie, Get Out.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get too much into the Keon Coleman conversation because I think eventually they're gonna misuse him. I don't think they see him as
the talent he is.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I mean, the way that they're using him is I want him outside, right? And there's a lot of people that say you need to play inside. I think there's a lot mentally that you have to learn to be able to play successfully inside if you haven't been elite doing that in college. And I mean, I watched this tape. I don't think he was elite route running anywhere in college. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of his athletic ability and his strength and his height, I think he's good enough talent-wise to play outside. He just needs to refine that game.
They need to go get Alshon Jeffrey. Say, hey, watch him.
Yeah,
him.
And that to me is the perfect expression of Keon Coleman at his best is Alshon Jeffrey.
And I would take that.
Right, 100% all day long. But for me it's this. Somebody said, where is it? Sal said every ex playing talking head loves the Cooper move. I gotta be honest with y'all. I don't love the move. When I heard it, it was like, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, that's the best we could do. So
yeah,
cool.
Well, yeah, that's the best we were going to do. We were never going to get Devontae Adams here. Unless somehow Devontae Adams wasn't traded until right at the deadline. Maybe the Bills try to make it work then, but...
And they decided they were going to eat like $80 million on it.
Yeah, no. Exactly. There's
Ain't no way.
There's no way. So, for me, I'll say this. And we'll just jump into that now because it's 7:20. We're running out of time. For me, the Amari Cooper move was patchwork.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
And a big part of the issue that I have with this move is you could have still made this move and had a lot more cap space after making this move had you kept Stephon Diggs. And had you kept Stephon Diggs and made this move, you're instantly the best offense in the entire NFL.
What you think, Matt?
Hands down.
If they had Stephon Diggs, they would never get him.
But if they
there'll
did,
be no need.
but if they did, what would you do? Like if they had them both on the same
Right,
team.
just assume that they
They're
were
both
smart
here.
enough to kind of get, hey, if we get 2 number ones on the field, we could be elite.
and Keon
And
Coleman
they
out
made the
there.
move. So if they did that, what would you think?
Honestly, I think it'll be a problem.
You think they had to stock each other out?
Not to shock each other up, but I think a problem. So I'll basically say this: when Amari Cooper was with the Cowboys, he had CeeDee Lamb. There was a funny story. There was a time where it was a game-winning drive. CeeDee Lamb went up to him like, "Yo, let me get this touchdown." He said, "Boy, get out my face, man." CeeDee Lamb really went up to Amari Cooper, was like, "Yo, let me get this." And he was like, "Bro, what are you talking about?"
Like, this is me, baby.
let
This
me
is
get
all me.
this. So I think I could see that happening with Stephon Diggs and Amari Cooper. Because to me, like, the reason why, to me, with the Keon Coleman, like, Stephon Diggs is flashy.
Mm-hmm.
Keon Coleman is not flashy.
Sure.
Amari Cooper
Oh,
is
you
not
mean
flashy.
are you talking about on the field or are you talking about like in personal
Outside,
life?
like, personally. Like,
Man,
I
that
don't,
thing,
like,
that,
like, he's
that
not,
thing he got, I'm like, yo,
I don't, that's
dude,
just,
this
that's,
all I
that-
got.
That's just the down
This all I
south.
got. I
But
ain't got no more. To
but
me, that's a lot.
But to me, they're not flashy. So, like, I think by getting both of them, I think you create controversy within the wide receiver room.
Now let me ask you this though, because Amari Cooper did play with Dez Bryant.
Yeah.
I now would Amari Cooper have said, "Boy, get out of my face"? It was another bona fide number one.
No, definitely not. And I think that's what's
That is crazy,
okay.
though.
I built my entire
I said that. No, I said that is crazy though. He's like, "Get on my face, yo,
Yeah,
yo."
right. Right. He's
How
flicking
would you
you
ask
off.
him that? Yo, let me get the touchdown.
You supposed to ask the quarterback,
Like,
not
bro,
him.
what do you mean? Let me get the touchdown. Bro, like,
What are
what
you gonna do?
doing?
Hoist you up?
I
And
mean,
catch you?
If they call your number, they call your number.
I can imagine the receiver saying, "Hey, like in a joking but respectful way, hey, let me get this one. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Like I can imagine that being a thing. I don't
child, please.
I don't think he walked up on him like, "Yo, let me get this one." Like that's different. That's totally different. Right.
Let me get a sucker. You ain't going with it.
Anytime
You already got one. Give
chin
me
up,
one.
chin up. Let me get
Let
this
me
one.
get it.
Let me get this one. Like, no, I don't think that happened. But
Yeah.
I'll say this, and here's why I think what you said could have been right in Dallas, right? Dallas and the Raiders wasn't winning nothing. They wasn't winning nothing. On top of that, Derek Carr was not an elite quarterback. Dak Prescott was not an elite quarterback. If I'm Amari Cooper and I'm watching all these other good quarterbacks around the league and I'm looking at what I got here, yeah, Dak was throwing for 4,400 yards, 4,900 yards and stuff like that. But we ain't winning nothing, right?
Okay.
So let me take you to Amari Cooper's career post trade and then his last season with the team. Okay? Amari Cooper with the Raiders. Before he was traded, he had 22 receptions, 280 yards, 1 touchdown, right? One of the things I've heard a lot of people say, and I've even said this about Amari Cooper, he has a post-trade boom,
Yeah.
right? Soon as he was dealt to Dallas in 2018, 53 receptions, 725 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's a boom, right? He played the next season, the next 2 seasons after 2018, he had 1,150 yards or something like that, and then 1,200 something yards. The first full season he had with the Cowboys, he had 1,150 yards or something like that, and 9 touchdowns. That's a solid number 1 season, right? Next season after that, 1,200 something yards. He only had 6 touchdowns, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So then you move forward to the trade with the Browns, right? His first season with the Browns, 78 catches, 1,160 yards, 9 touchdowns, right? This season with the Browns, 24 catches, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns through 5 games. Not off to a great start, right? A lot of targets, dropping balls, all that. Now,
Here we go. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. There's no way around it.
anyway, when you go back and you look at Amari Cooper's stats through the seasons, he has 2 good seasons with each of these teams. And then that's it. As soon as he has his second good season, The next season after that, he drops off, right? Prime example. Here we go. So Raiders, his first season, 2015, 72 catches, 1,070 yards, 6 touchdowns. Next season after that, 2016, 83 catches, 1,150 yards, 5 touchdowns. The next season after that, in 2017, 48 catches, 680 yards, 7 touchdowns. What the heck happened, right? Fast forward to the Cowboys, okay? I was wrong. It was 1,189. So 2019, first full season with the Cowboys, 79 catches, 1,189 yards, 8 touchdowns. Next season, 2020, 92 catches, 1,114 yards, 5 touchdowns. Next season after that, 2021, 68 catches, 865 yards, 8 touchdowns. Right? So he goes from the Cowboys to the Browns. He got traded in the offseason. First full season with the Browns, 78 catches, 1,160 yards, 9 touchdowns. Next season after that, 2023, 72 catches, 1,250 yards, 5 touchdowns. And then, of course, this year is the fall off, 24 catches, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. So it seems like, and this is why I said what you said might have been the case in Dallas and Cleveland. I think he gets bored, gentlemen. Mm-hmm. I think he gets bored with not winning at all, or at least making it into the playoffs and doing something he's never done before, which is play in playoff games that matter, or playoff games you're expected to win, right? I think he only had that, 2 years ago with the Cowboys?
Was that
What, playoffs?
A playoff game. I don't think he's played in a playoff game before that. And that one, they got slammed. So for me, from what I'm seeing so far, a lot of people say he's a smart dude. He does the work. He knows his stuff. All these things that speak to he's a complete number one. So why the fall off? It has to be because he just gets bored. He just gets tired of not winning. I don't see any, and there really hasn't been a major injury history. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that would have been why Amari Cooper and Stephon Diggs being on the same team may have worked here. I don't think it would have worked in Cleveland, where quarterback is playing like trash. They wasn't winning nothing, and in Dallas, where Dak Prescott had no run game and all they had was the pass. And let's face it, Dak was not a closer, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a receiver and you're seeing that, and you know that at the end of this road there's nothing, to some degree, if you're not in control of your emotions the way you need to be, you're gonna slack off a little bit. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like, yo, I gave y'all 2 great seasons, and what did it mean? Nothing. All right, I'm out. Y'all, you know what? Y'all can get 50% from me now. Trade me if you want to, or pay me. One of the two. Right. But like we've already established, he's not a loud dude. He's a bona fide professional. He's an all-pro. He's a Pro Bowler. All of that stuff. So what the heck else could the reason be for him being traded 3 times in his career, never having seen free agency?
Yeah, and that was alarming to me. That what you just said, I didn't realize he never saw free agency, so I looked into. Of course, I looked at his contract to see what he was signing for, but that's strange. You know, why are you asking for? I don't know if he asked for a trade out of Oakland.
No.
I wasn't sure, but I know he got traded from
He's
there.
never asked for a trade.
So the thing is, you're getting traded. You're not asking for a trade. You've been traded twice.
Right.
There's obvious, to a talent evaluator, red flags, which is hilarious to me that he comes to Buffalo. Why?
Right.
Because I'll go to my soapbox just for a second, if I'm allowed. Mac, I told you you're going to hate me today. He's like, I do. No, but if I'm allowed, what I'm saying, when I see Amari Cooper is the Bills fans saying, big baller bean, put the sunglasses. No. It's other bees. There's bargain bin bean again. And what we're looking at is, we're looking at a guy who's, he recognized that it wasn't working. No, you should have known that when you built this BS. You knew that. And the fact is, I'm not even mad at MVS. I'm not mad at Hollins. I'm not mad at Samuel. I'm mad at the fact you didn't allow yourself to have the grease and the grace to get somebody on this team that could play with them. Because everybody's feminine BS, it never got off the ground. And the fact that we had to wait 5 weeks in order to realize this is crazy to me. The fact that the team that we just beat had to go sign their quarterback's top wide receiver from 5 years ago? Mm-hmm. It's for us to make a move. That's crazy to me. Yeah. Now, to me, when you look at guys, as T likes to say, drink the Kool-Aid. Let's not like Bean and McDermott couldn't have headed this off at the pass. Let's act like they didn't expect this to be a soft reset. They knew it was. They didn't see Tua Tagovailoa getting hurt. They didn't see the Jets being a tire fire. They thought probably the Patriots might have been better than they were. They said, "Oh snap! We can't soft reset. We got a shot. We got to do something." But you left yourself no money. You got a kicker who can't kick, so you go out and get this guy they got. You can't even pay Joey Sly. Joey Sly was the better option as a kicker. But you can't afford him because his contract is about $1.8 million. Can't afford that. So you go ahead and sign a guy who is horrible. Yep. He's a practice squad kicker. People, Bass he's screwed. No, unless this guy has a rebirth, Bass is fine. It's just somebody to wake up, Bass. Wake up, Bass. We're looking elsewhere now. It's not just you, but we're giving you Levi Wallace, as somebody likes to say, the Levi Wallace treatment. Yep. We're gonna give you not enough to really take your job, but enough to make you think. I mean, this guy, he in 1 year, he was averaging 75% for field goals. In his career in Arizona, he was at like 64% for field goals, 64. What is that? What his extra point percentages? What? 89%. 89%. Bass is at 93. Bass is his even in his bad year, Bass is at 89% field goal kicker. So we went and got competition where? I looked it up. Joey Sly, better option. There were 2 other better options, but they cost way too much, and that's why I didn't bring him in. I'm surprised they didn't go get Alex McNulty from UB from last year that they had in the tryouts. Bring him back. Why not? You already had him. But the thing is, when people say, "Oh, they made a move. They did this. They did that." No, they're undoing the stuff that they thought was going to work before. When you look at how they drafted, we're still trying to find a pass rusher. Yeah. He was still, but guess what? Odafe looked pretty good, didn't he? He was drafted behind Greg Rousseau. Guess what? George Karlaftis, he looks pretty good. He had a 10-sack season. Guess what? He was drafted in the 4th round. I mean, you're talking about Azeez Ojulari from New York. He was drafted in the 2nd round. We could have had him. 6'2", 250. He's Von Miller. I mean, insert name. If you guys don't like DeMar Hamlin, guess what? Where was Cam Kinchins? Where was Kalen Bullock? Where was TJ Temple? Where are these guys? Mm-hmm. But instead, we decide we want to give you guys Mike Edwards as a competition for DeMar Hamlin as everybody to vilify. Everybody, why is Mac, you were at the preseason game.
But that's the thing. Like, did we ever believe from the start that DeMar Hamlin had a real shot to be our starting set? I don't think anybody thought that was a real thing
DeMar
until
Hamlin
it happened.
Didn't think so.
People were just like, "Damn, for real?" Like,
yeah, he didn't think so. I bet you.
Right.
When he started to get that traction, I'm getting more started around. Right. Okay, now I see where this is going. But before, no, it was just everything that they had in place fell apart. Cole Bishop got hurt. Mike Edwards got hurt. They brought nobody. People were still saying, "Bring Micah Hyde back for what?" Why do we have to keep paying all these overpriced people to do stuff you could have hit up the pass? Because guess what, Matt? Guess what, Justin Jefferson, he had to be a no-name at some point, right? Yeah. Guess what? Malik Neighbors, nobody knew. All these players that everybody wants to go pay in free agency were available to you in the draft at some point in time, I believe. So why did you not believe in your scouting department? Why did you not believe in your developmental department to bring these guys up in your system? Instead, you want to see them develop somewhere else and then pay them top dollar when the market's passed. And that's what we do every time.
Okay. I feel like I need to address this.
You want to jump on me?
Respectfully. Okay. Respectfully. Sal, I get it. He says Cooper will be productive, and that's all that matters.
He does what?
Sal says Cooper will be productive. That's all that matters. To your point, I think part of the reason we are here now is because that straight to the conclusion only mindset and not taking into consideration the context is part of the reason why the team is in the position that it's in now. This is not a team that's built to last 4 or 5 years. I think it's part of the reason why this team has had to retool and restructure and do so many things with guys' contracts to compensate for the mistakes that they've made. And that's why the salary cap looks the way it does. I mean, if you just look at where we were right after the 13 seconds game, with the Bills deciding to spend $100 million on Von Miller, we had no business spending anywhere near that kind of money at that point for anything. We could have. I mean, name the pass rusher. I wouldn't have given him 6 years, $100 million at that point. We just didn't have that kind of money when you haven't even paid your quarterback yet, right? And so to address that comment directly, I think that's the problem. The Bills look at it as, well, we're here now, so we just got to make do. Yeah. No, that's the problem. Mm-hmm. The fact that you're skipping over the part where you tripped and fell into a hole that you dug yourself into in the first place, it is the point. Mm-hmm. When are we going to stop having to deal with the matter-of-fact mindset of this team? And when I say this team, I don't mean the players. I mean the staff, the owner, everybody. Yeah. Where is the forethought going to come from and say, man, we can't keep making these kind of mistakes. Yeah. We can't keep trying to patchwork this whole thing. Either go in all the way or blow it up. You can't have both. Mm-hmm. And this year they're getting away yet again with doing both. This was supposed to be a transition year. Yeah. Why the hell are we trading for a number 1 wide receiver at this point? Oh, because we won 3 games and the rest of the league looks pretty bad. We might as well try and go for it. We got Josh Allen. Right. What is that going to mean in the playoffs? If you still can't stop the run and all the Chiefs got to do is run the ball down your throat, there you go. I did it. All right, fine. And play defense. If that's all they got to do, which is what they did last year, they didn't throw it all over the yard. Right. When they needed to, Travis Kelce, boom, there you go. Have a good night. That's it. Yep. That's it.
Healthy dose of Pacheco.
And guess what? They're going to do it to the league again this year. What did the Texans do? They don't have a run game. Everybody knows they can't run the ball right now, but what did they do? They sure look good running the ball against us. Mm-hmm. If you are so fundamentally flawed in that way, what business do you have thinking that something like this is going to fix everything? Oh, we're back to having a complete team. No.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen at the end of the year? Yeah. You're going to be in a transition again.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They put too much thought into, the no man's bigger than the group mentality. Because even James Cook, my man Himbo, I'm going to take the Himbo away just for a moment and call you Jimbo. I can't believe you said that. I thought you were a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. I thought you knew how to win. I thought you saw what it takes to win because you have national championships in college.
No, don't get me started on that foolishness. Oh, my God.
Well, the thing is, that's part of it, but it's like
Terry Pagula loves that.
Well, you were at University of Georgia. George Pickens was there. You see what he's doing in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
You've seen guys over there who are probably borderline incarcerated right now.
Is there anybody left in the league that loves what Mike Tomlin is doing with the Steelers right now? I mean, we've heard for years how 10-win season after 10-win season after 10-win season, we could do the dance with the 10-win seasons all year. Yeah. How many playoff games has he won? He's been to 1 playoff game in how many years?
7.
Right.
It has not won a playoff game in 7 years.
That's crazy.
7-year itch.
On top of that, he hasn't had a good offensive line in longer than that. So tell me how any quarterback is supposed to go to Pittsburgh and have any kind of success when he can't get protection. Russell Wilson is going to be the starter this Sunday. Guess what's going to happen to Russell Wilson?
Guess what?
He going to die.
You saw George Pickens leaked it, right?
Huh?
You saw Pickens leak that, right?
Who?
Pickens leaked it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because Tomlin didn't say it. He wouldn't say who it was. And they were asking Pickens at his locker, how was Russell Wilson? He's like, he's ramping up really good because he's going to get his first start. I was like, well then.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't know he wasn't being malicious. He just didn't know he wasn't supposed to, I guess. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the thing, and I can see Mac is about to tear me a new one over there because he's quiet now. See, guys, what I'm talking about. You see, he's mad, but he ain't saying nothing. I'm joking. I'm
just waiting for my opportunity.
You got it. No, do your thing.
Go ahead, bro.
So with the whole Amari Cooper thing, I'm looking at I don't see the drop off, or maybe you got to explain the drop off to me because in Oakland, His first year, he had 130 targets, 1,070 yards, 6 touchdowns. Next year, 132, 1,153, 5 touchdowns. The drop-off came because in 2017, the Raiders were booty. They went 6-10, and they paid
their booty juice?
And they paid Derek Carr. He became the highest quarterback that year, and he had a terrible year. So to me, the drop-off was because of the poor quarterback play and the poor team that it was on. After that, he gets shipped to Dallas, and I really don't see a drop-off. The first year, he had 1,189 yards, 119 targets. Then he had 130 targets, 114 yards. 2021, he only plays 15 games, and I think that's the year that got hurt. And then he goes to Cleveland, like, I don't see a drop-off. He's been producing the same amount of numbers everywhere he goes. He's going to get 130 targets and 1,000 yards every season.
I get it, but I don't. If Justin Jefferson was playing with J.J. McCarthy, and Justin Jefferson was not putting up, numbers like he was supposed to, you would say, okay, well, he's playing with a rookie quarterback. The year that Derek Carr got his big contract, I remember that year because Derek Carr looked like he was the next up and coming quarterback in the series of young quarterbacks that were in his draft class, and for Amari to only get 48 catches for 680 yards that season and 7 touchdowns. I mean, first of all, 7 touchdowns is more touchdowns than he had the whole entire time he was with the Raiders. But your yardage total was almost cut in half at that point, and your reception total was just about cut in half. For you to only miss one game, that still to me is that's the drop off. Like, I get he missed one game, and I get Derek Carr didn't play well that year, but you're still supposed to be the guy that makes things easy for your quarterback. That's why Amari Cooper is here in Buffalo, is to make things easier for Josh. So if you fast forward to the Cowboys, 2020, he has 92 catches, 1,114 yards, 5 touchdowns. The next season after that, he goes down to 68 catches, 865 yards. And again, he matched his high total with the Cowboys for 8 touchdowns that year, but you're still seeing a reduction in catches, a reduction in yards, and yeah, he's got the touchdowns, but they're, in my mind, I've watched Stephon Diggs come here and have over 1,000 yards every season. I've watched him have over 100 catches every season, bar none. He may not have had the same touchdowns every season. That, to me, is a little relative because there's other weapons on the team if guys are doubling him and stuff like that. But to me, the number one receiver needs to be consistent with catches and yards because that's what moves the sticks.
But I will say,
look at the quarterback.
Okay, go ahead.
Quarterback.
I will say though,
Dak and
yeah.
Carr?
So what you said with Stephon Diggs, he had Josh Allen for all those 100 yards, all those consistent numbers was with the same quarterback. Here, he had all that in Oakland, minus that 1 year when the Raiders sucked. Mm-hmm. Same thing in Dallas. I think that's the year that Dak Prescott went hurt. So, like, he's had them.
Yeah, but
matter of fact, he's had a 1,000-yard season every year except for one.
No.
Yeah.
Cooper?
Yeah, where's the drop-off? He had it in 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. He missed it in, 2017. He only played 14 games. And then in Dallas, he played 15 games there. So 2 years, he had shy of 1,000 yards, but every other season he had 1,000 yards.
Well, I will tell you this: the drop off for Stephon Diggs, it did come in the playoffs in 2017 or 2016. He had 2 catches for 10 yards. 2018 he had 6 catches for 65 yards. 2021 he had 6 catches, 64 yards. 2023 he had 4 catches for 59 yards. Wait a minute, that's Amari Cooper's playoffs. That's Amari Cooper's playoffs. The same that they said about Steph Diggs, he disappeared in the playoffs.
Same thing happened to Amari Cooper.
What are we looking at? So, not to discredit you, the point is, the Bills fans say, what happened to you in the playoff? We don't care about the regular season. So, the year 1,100, 1,500, whatever the hell he had, who cares? Because he didn't do it in the playoffs.
Right. And that's kind of my point is why get rid of one number one receiver to bring in another one and have the same problem when teams take them away in the playoffs. That was the foundation of my frustration is like, yo, the only team that we've seen do the job that needs to be done, which is beat the Chiefs in the playoffs, is a team that had 2 number one receivers on it. We've not seen any other team do this to the Chiefs since before the Chiefs became the Chiefs, which was Tom Brady with the Patriots doing it to them in their own house. So, I got away with that one. Okay, so
I looked too. Okay.
So I mean, for me, I think that's the frustration. I see your point, Mac, in terms of because I was looking at 2018 as a split between the two teams. It does equal to 5 yards over 1,000 yards for between the Raiders and Cowboys. You're right. I just think for me, I don't want to see the same problem arise again when you only have one real option at receiver and that gets taken away in the playoffs. What do you do then?
Yeah, I think you guys are both right because you were, like I said, you said he had a boom after he left in the trade.
Yeah.
So in a snapshot, if you look at the whole year in totality, it was the same year.
Yeah.
But it seemed like you said, it seemed like his trajectory in the first half before the trade was that what are you doing? You're not the guy. You're not even on pace to be that guy that you've been. Right. So we get rid of you and you go to the other team and now
right back to
rise. You're back to 1,100, 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. So I get it. I mean, I understand that. I'm just interested. You know, Amari Cooper's nickname is the route runner.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, he does get open,
bro. I don't think he's a good route runner.
No, I think he's a great route runner.
That's a weird nickname.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why? Like, why is that his nickname?
I'm like, man, change that. Give me something else.
You know what I mean? Yeah, call me the haircut or something. Something else. Why the route runner?
As I'm sitting here looking rough as hell outdoors, I'm going to take creative
Roy says, so y'all against the Amari trade? I'm not against it.
I'm with the Amari trade.
I'm not against it.
If you look at it, we got him for nothing.
Yeah,
practically for nothing.
Yeah,
and if we cut him and he do good, we might get a compensatory pick for him.
Oh, he's after this year. He's done anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
if they don't as long as they don't re-sign him, we get that third rounder.
Now again, I'm not saying because we got him like, oh my God, we going to the Super Bowl. No, that's not what's happening.
No.
That's not what's
you started
happening.
off by saying that.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just they're just adding to where they need help at. So they identified an issue and they're fixing it, which is what I will want people to do. Like if you're struggling somewhere, why keep struggling? What are you going to do to fix the struggle? And that's what their move was. Their answer to fix while they're struggling. So I think it's going to help Josh and help the offense. But like I said, I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid and be like, oh, now we going to the Super Bowl because we got Amari Cooper.
Right.
All our problems are fixed. No, that's not what's happening.
Yeah, I think for
Joe,
me,
I don't know, man.
like you said, they identified the problem and fixed it. My problem is they should identify the problem before it happened, before we got five games in, before free agency was over, and we're doing a song and dance with Tyrell Shavers, KJ Hamler versus Claypool, and it was a fun dance, but none of them are amounting to anything on this team right now. That was the story out of camp. Tyrell Shavers looked great. KJ Hamler's he's doing his thing. Claypool,
right.
Oh man,
right.
None of them rebounding 53.
Exactly. It looked like we had all these players that were balling and were going to get a chance, and then now nobody could do anything on offense. Right. It just seems weird to me. Right. Joe 335, welcome to the show, my man.
Yes.
He says, how did those QBs perform in the playoffs? We can't blame Josh for how the receivers haven't lived up to their potential and not hold that same standard for the other QBs that Amari Cooper played with. Okay.
So to his point, he had Dak in the playoffs. Dak is not a good playoff quarterback. He is not good.
Yep.
In Cleveland, bro, he had P.J. Walker, Dorian Thomas. Like, he had a slew of different quarterbacks. He had the good one he had was Flacco. And he was balling with Flacco.
Yeah, you pissed me off with that, even though I hate the fact Flacco was supposed to be good still.
He was balling with Flacco.
He's like 64 years old.
That's what I'm saying. So now you got him with an elite quarterback. Like, look at all the receivers that Josh had who had mediocre seasons before they came here. Like, he's gonna get the stats are gonna be there. But again, I don't want people to get caught up at just because his stats look good that we're good, that we're gonna get the wins and we're gonna get to the playoffs. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that he's an instant upgrade, and our numbers going to be better. He's going to be better. The stats going to be better. Like, it's going to look like everything is good. This passing game is going to be better. But like I said, it doesn't mean you're going to win the games that you need to win. In playoffs.
My question with the number one contract is this is proven to be a team that you can't plug and play a number one wide receiver. This is proven to be a team that you have to have a certain kind of player to be a number one. And I don't know. I know Amari Cooper at Alabama. You know I hate Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah, to begin with. Yeah.
I had to choke this down with a grain of salt with Amari Cooper. But I do know I did watch him in college, and he was good. Now, I don't know if he's going to be good in the offense that we run. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is what he's tailored to do. I mean, clearly, they went and got Amari Cooper because $860,000. That's why they got Amari Cooper.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Now, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and profess to you guys that I know that he's not going to fit or that he's going to fit, like Max said. Don't lose your marbles over whether he sucks on Sunday. I don't know why he's playing, honestly. I mean, I get it, but like you said, he's got to be a decoy. What can you really do in an offense is a short week where you're doing installs and you just get traded? And he drove to Buffalo, he said. The man said, I drove to Buffalo because I had to clear my head. I'm like, damn, dude, what's good? What's your mind saying? Because he said, I don't know if you caught him a couple of times in the thing. They asked him, are you happy to be here? He's like, he wouldn't say yes. He never once would say yes. And I don't care that he wants to be here because I need you to perform. But, I mean, the thing is, like, you're baiting it, like you said with Keon Coleman, like you said with the Cooper. That's the difference. They're baiting the guy to say something because they need to hear. I need to hear you say you want to be here. I need to hear you. I need to hear your appeal to the fans. Please say it, or we got to cut your mic. And Amari Cooper is not a guy that you're going to cut his mic, but he's also the kind of guy like you said, quiet dude. You know, he said, you know, I'm processing. He kept saying, I'm just processing. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to feel yet. I'm processing. Whereas anybody else said, oh, I'm happy as hell to be here. Let's get started. I'm going to get to work. Right. Give me the playbook. You know, Keon Coleman said, give me a playbook. I don't know how I feel about Buffalo. I still like my ranch from down there. We got remoulade sauce. We want that. Give me some of those, you know, whatever. But booyah balls or whatever those things are called.
I think it comes down to this, and I think this is something that fans seem to forget every single year we watch this team, which is. You know what? I'll ask the question and you know somebody can answer, whoever wants to. But if I was a magician and you guys had a hall that you know I could do my show at, right? And you say, well, come on down and audition, and you know we'll see where we're at. And my first 10 tricks, great. My first 10 tricks killed. You loved them, and you sitting here saying to yourself through every one of those first 10 tricks, man, this dude is good. I think he might have put on a great show. Mm-hmm. And I get to the grand finale of my show, that 11th trick that's supposed to bring the whole house down, mm-hmm. and I just can't hit it. Mm-hmm. I mess it up. Somebody falls. The curtain fall down too soon. One of my props breaks or something like that. Something always happens, right?
You actually saw the girl in half.
Now, this is just my first audition, mm-hmm. right? So you say, you know what? Go work on your show. Come back to me a couple months later. We'll talk about it. Next time I come do the audition, still can't get that 11th trick. Still can't do it. Something always falling apart. Something always happening. Like, and now this whole process of you giving me another chance, by the time I get to chance 4 or 5, 6, are y'all even bothering to give me the show, or are y'all just feeling sorry for me at that point?
This is just because you know somebody. We owe your uncle an audition.
Right. At some point, you've already made it up in your mind. You ain't getting the show, my guy. Like, it just ain't working out for you. You need to go do something else. And I think for me, looking at what the Bills have had with Stephon Diggs going into the playoffs with probably one of the most consistent number one receivers over the last 4 years in the league, mm-hmm. and even he with the greatest or second greatest quarterback in the NFL still couldn't get it done. So I don't understand how people think this situation is going to be different from when we had Diggs, who, you know, honestly, over the last 4 years has had better numbers than Amari Cooper. Mm-hmm. So you by the numbers have a downgrade in Amari Cooper from Stephon Diggs. Amari Cooper is for sure an upgrade over anybody else we have, mm-hmm. but you're now back in the same situation you were the last 4 years. and I'm not talking about y'all because I know y'all see this, but how is nobody else that's rooting for the Bills right now seeing this predicament that we put ourselves in yet again, where we have one guy that we're depending on to make everything else in the offense easy, and if that one guy doesn't get it done, the offense is right back to where it was the first 5 weeks of this season.
Yeah, it'd be easier for me to digest with Amari Cooper coming as a number 2. You know, and I say that not because I don't think he's talented. I don't think, not that I don't think he's a number 1, but like you said, the team you were referencing earlier was Cincinnati. They had 2 wide receivers, number 1s, that beat Kansas City. If we had a bona fide number 1 already, which, like I said, Khalil Shakir to me could be, I could see an instance where you're trying to give him some help. But in this case, you're bringing in somebody to be that guy.
Right.
And that's where the troubling part is. And that's where your premise about Diggs and Amari Cooper came, and it sparked my interest because I'm thinking in my head, with 2 supremely talented guys, I mean, Diggs is on pace to get another 100 catch season as a number 3, we'll say. In a brand new scheme where I saw somewhere where they're like, what if he goes to Baltimore next year? Like, that's where they're posturing Diggs to go to Baltimore. I'm like, that'd be weird. But anyway.
There's no way. His brother would have to go there with him.
He would. And,
I don't think they got the cap for all that.
No, they can't pay for both of them. But, it's just troubling to me that not that we have them. I don't care about the fact we have Amari Cooper. You scared me. I'm like, what I hit?
No.
But to me, it's more so the stock, like Max said in the beginning of the show, that people put on this guy. If he's bad, oh man, it's a bad pickup. Just take the name out of it and put the price tag on it. What do you expect out of $860,000? That's what you need to go into the game asking. What do you expect out of that money?
Yeah. If you get benefit that exceeds that amount of money, then it's a win either way, But I think the design of this show is to keep things as clean as possible, to kind of scrape off the sweetness of the love of fanaticism, to really keep a very objective and honest outlook on what's happening. And I want the Bills to win just as much as everybody who wears Bills paraphernalia and buys tickets and seasons and tailgates and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I desire all of those things. Mm-hmm. I cried when the Bills made the playoffs in 2017, okay? Like literally shed tears in front of my wife. So trust me, I want this team to win, but I want them to do it in the right way. And watching all of these, stumbles and I'm not expecting every decision to be perfect. That's not what I'm saying. At the same time, they should make sense. Yeah. You know what I mean? The moves should make sense. When I'm running a household, right, and I'm establishing a culture for my children, I don't make a rule and then double back and change the rule again. I don't, teach my children to wash the dishes one way and then double back and teach them a different way. I don't tell them to clean the floor a certain way and then double back and change that. Like that's what we're seeing now. We thought Von Miller was a good idea. Now, not so much because he's suspended and, we can't do nothing with that.
We thought everybody East was a good idea.
We thought everybody East was a good idea. Now we need a number 1 wide receiver. We thought getting rid of Stephon Diggs was a good idea. Now we realize we probably should have put up with that a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like all of these things is like, what kind of show are you running? Right. But all right, you got to get to work, right?
I think, but you look thirsty. You look real thirsty. You know why?
Why is that?
Because you don't have your Reese's tea.
I don't have my Reese's tea. I need a box, man.
Reese's tea, 1 part refreshing, 1 part delicious, 2 parts healthy. That's what you can expect when you get Reese's tea. How many ingredients in it? 4. 4 ingredients. I don't even drink tea, but let me tell you, that's a good drink there. What you doing? Head on over to Reese's. Get your supply by the case or by the individual. Why would you do that? Just get a case. You won't be disappointed. Trust me, you won't. But see for yourself. Go ahead on over to Reese's Tea. Click the link in the description. Let them know who sent you.
You were much smoother doing that without the music. That might have been why you decided to do it before I could start the music. Makes perfect sense. I'm with it.
I'm rushing when the music goes.
Is that what it is?
You're not going to blame me for your 2-minute fails.
Looking in, put that pressure on us now. Every time the music, come on. Mac, anything you want to get out before we get out of here?
I'll save it.
Save it?
I'll save
you
it.
sure?
Yeah.
Dang,
I want to get you to work on time, my man.
Huh?
I want to get you to work on time.
Dang, we got to do more. We got to do 2 shows a week.
I know.
This is why we can't
This
do.
is why I tell
This is why we
people
can't do it.
2 hours is not enough time
really
the way
not.
we go,
It's
man.
really
We
not.
could literally carry a 4-hour
We
show.
really
easy.
could be on the radio with this, yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, if you're hearing the music, that means it's time for us to get out of here. So if you have not done yet already, please hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, and could you please hit that bell, make that thing
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
so that you can get notifications. I like the stereo version I got here. I'm hearing from everywhere. So listen, if you need to get a hold of us, we're having so many conversations throughout the week with our viewers, and we love y'all for doing that. Keep it up. But if you are not one of those people that is engaged in this part of hanging out with us, you can. It's fully available to you in the description. All of our social media links are in there. You can hit us up any point, and we will get back to you as soon as humanly possible. And we can just dialogue. We can chop it up. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for. Other than that, we got another great show coming up Monday, right? Monday. Okay. So we will be back here Monday. You can look forward to Coach D's Corner coming back next week. We will look at the Titans game. We will try to get that episode out Wednesday at the very latest. Okay. You got to give us time to get through the All 22 and all that kind of stuff. Other than that, this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
Melly Mac.
40 keys.
And y'all have a great night. Thanks for putting up with us.
Peace.